Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2014 Q1 BRG ARCHIBUS Users Group. We're happy you can join us today for our session. We're looking forward to a great lineup today to kick off our 2014 ARCHIBUS Users Group series with some excitement. Let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda for today. Part one of today's session is an end-user spotlight from Red Hat entitled Breaking the Culture Clash. In this session, Crystal Zembal with Red Hat and Michael Sharon with BRG will explain how Red Hat's Global Solutions team leveraged ARCHIBUS to align its space management and CRE practices with the forward-thinking culture that makes Red Hat the Fortune 500 innovation giant it is today. Part two is an in-depth look at ARCHIBUS version 21.2, the most recent ARCHIBUS release. We're excited to welcome Greg Alevris, ARCHIBUS Vice President of Business Development, to join Reeve Davis, BRG ARCHIBUS Practice Director, as they present an overview, demonstration, and future roadmap of this recent release. And finally, part three is a featured look at some ARCHIBUS tips and tricks from Kevin Zimmer, BRG's Director of Technical Services. As always, if you have any questions during the presentation, please use the WebEx Q&A feature or simply chat me. I'll be sure to ask all of your questions aloud at the end of each section. Right, I'm going to pass controls over to Michael and to Crystal now and make them presenter. We're going to move into the first part of today's session, and Michael and Crystal can get started whenever they're ready.
All right, great. Can you hear us, Nicole?
I can.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. Like Nicole mentioned, we're going to talk through Red Hat and kind of breaking the culture clash and kind of how our implementation has gone. So, just for introductions, I'm Michael Sharon. I've been with BRG going on 9 years. Joined in 2005, but I've worked in the industry for over 13 years now. So I've been around for quite a while. Still enjoy watching sports and playing indoor soccer as kind of my hobbies. Joining us, I also have Crystal Zembal. She's the Global CAFM Specialist here at Red Hat. She's been in the IWMS and in the industry for over 6 years. She's got a background in interior design and CAD with special interests in environmental sustainability. She joined Red Hat's Global Workplace Solutions team a little over a year and a half ago. Enjoys collaboration, creativity, cooking, and long walks on the beach. So thanks for joining us, Crystal.
Thanks.
So the agenda today, Crystal's going to give a little background on Red Hat, talk a little bit about the business issues and technology and why they chose ARCHIBUS in the end. We're going to go through a little about the project timeline as far as what we've implemented and what we plan to implement here in the future. Discuss the challenges, the anticipated improvements, and just lessons learned for the roadmap in the future. As Nicole mentioned, if you do have questions, please enter those into the chat window, and from there I'll hand it over to Crystal.
Great. Thanks so much, Michael, and thank you to BRG for asking Red Hat to be part of your user group to kick off the year. I think that we have a very unique story, but I think it's also very similar to a lot of others that have implemented an IWMS tool for the first time, because for Red Hat, this is the first implementation of an IWMS tool. We didn't have anything prior. So as some of you may or may not know, Red Hat is the world's leading provider of open source solutions, and we use community-powered approach to provide a reliable services primarily around Linux. Our products cover cloud services, middleware, operating systems, storage, and virtualization. And in 1993, well, we were founded in 1993, but in the last couple of years, when our revenues exceeded $1 billion, we were asked to be part of the New York Stock Exchange. So we are a publicly traded company. We have over 75 worldwide offices in over 35 countries. One of our mission statements, if you wouldn't mind going back just one slide. So something when I tell people about Red Hat, I like to talk about our mission statement and kind of our 4 key focuses, because it really describes our culture. That we like to be the catalyst in communities of customers, contributors, and partners creating better technology the open source way, which essentially means collaboration. and kind of 4 of the words that we like to throw around a lot in our Red Hat lingo is freedom, courage, commitment, and accountability. And those will pop up a little bit later on in this presentation of our process, so kind of just keep those in the back of your mind. So as you can see, we are a very collaborative culture. This photo is from our $1 billion celebration. And we like to have fun. We all wear many hats. We actually have red hats that we like to wear. And, you know, this is a great photo of who we are because we like to have fun, but we work really hard.
That's true. I see red hats all around the office while I'm here, so it's kind of funny to see people walking down the street sometimes with red hats on.
Yeah. Regarding our real estate portfolio, we have 90-plus locations, and we're growing. So our main headquarters is here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have about 1.2 million square feet and a little over 113 square meters. I put that out there because we are a global organization, and knowing that both of those metrics is important for us, and that's something that I'll also kind of bring up as I'm going through this presentation. Currently, we stand at about 7,500 employees, and we are steadily growing. Every quarter, we add about 150 to 200 employees, 600 of which are currently full-time associates, about 1,500 contracts. Our core sites, we're kind of divided up into different office tiers, and our core sites include, obviously, here in Raleigh, Pune, India, Renana, Israel, Mountain View, Westford, Massachusetts, Beijing, Brno, Brisbane, London, and as you can see the map below, which I actually did use ARCHIBUS to print out all of our locations, you can see where we are. We are situated greatly all across the globe. And this slide just shows a couple of our buildings and how we like to choose not only great locations, but we like to choose attractive real estate, and we also like to openly brand ourselves. The photo in the bottom right corner where it has the top Red Hat, that's what we so affectionately call Red Hat Tower, which is where we're located in our headquarters. So yeah, we have a very broad real estate portfolio.
And they've done a great job of really building out the Red Hat Tower and having a lot of flex space, a lot of just community space with games and things like that, as well as a nice little cafeteria or cafe down below that people can go to grab breakfast or lunch.
So regarding our business issues and technology, as you can see and as you may hear in the industry, Red Hat's a very forward-thinking organization. But as far as our how we managed and tracked our portfolio, not so forward-thinking. So I want to talk a little bit about Red Hat pre-IWMS state, and then kind of what our post-IWMS is, because I think it's really important to see what our end goal was, what we started with, what our end goal was, and then kind of progress into where we went. So we had actually purchased a tool prior to going with ARCHIBUS and BRG, and quite frankly, the tool was overpromised. It was both functionality, it didn't have the functionality that was promised, and by the time it was, it was given a really low price, and by the time we reached the maximum of that price, we were nowhere near implementation at the end of it.